Hello, I'm Jane Dutton. We start the wrap of the week with the first of its kind.
This is Eyewitness News.
Happening here on South African soil, the music festival Hey Neighbour is the biggest in Africa. If you've got $5,000 for the 3 days, you can see the likes of the Chainsmokers, Khalid, Black Motion, Tyler, Kendrick Lamar, Jack Parow, Scorpion Kings, Her, and Swedish House Mafia. It kicks off in Pretoria today. This also happened in the news today.
It is clear from the evidence tendered by both the state and defense that accused number one has intentionally and knowingly flouted the laws of not only this country, but that of Namibia, by contravening the COVID-19 regulations during lockdown and by attempting to flee the country through illegal means. The conduct of accused number one is indicative of the fact that he possesses the propensity to commit further crimes as well as evading his trial. The state clearly illustrated to this court that accused number one's testimony was rife with inconsistencies and that he intentionally set out to deceive and confuse the investigating officer and this court. Accused number one has no fixed address that could be verified with certainty. He further misled this court regarding ownership of any movable or immovable property. The court has also taken into consideration that due to the nature of the crimes committed, the large amount of monies that have been stolen, and the fact that the investigation is still ongoing and still largely revolves around the conduct of accused number one, as well as two further suspects that have yet to be apprehended, there is a strong possibility that accused number one, should he be released on bail, may tamper or interfere with the investigation or the state witnesses or destroy or conceal any evidence against him. From the aforementioned principles enshrined in the Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977, it is very clear that accused number one has not satisfied this court that the interests of justice permit his release from custody. Bail is accordingly denied.
Also happening, a party accused of corruption on a massive scale, one that has seen a lifetime member, struggle hero Mavuso Msimang, resign after 60 years because of that corruption.
But on a daily basis, the veterans of the ANC have led a charge on this organization and attacked the ANC and decampaign our movement.
That same party, the ANC in government, is hosting the 2023 International Anti-Corruption Memorial. So what can we learn from it and who'll be listening? This week was also dominated by the tragedy at the Impala Platinum Mine in Rustenburg. These are the faces of some of the 13 miners who died after the cage they were travelling in suffered a mechanical fault and collapsed. A memorial service was held for them on Wednesday. Families have pleaded with the company not to neglect them as they pick up the pieces.
A family representative has expressed that it hurts that the mine continues to maximize their profits while undermining the safety of the workers who go underground on a daily basis. She's also expressed that her brother was also a husband and was also a father. His life has now been cut short. The family has been left without a breadwinner. However, the mine has responded and said that they will ensure that the children of these men who died will be taken to school, their high school and tertiary fees will be taken care of. And AMCU has also pleaded for the mine to ensure that they stick to their promise and ensure that these families have food on their table. For Eyewitness News, I'm Alpha Ramushwana in Rustenburg.
Lucky to get out alive, 19 South Africans escaped the Israel-Hamas war and made it back home. That's after they fled the Strip and crossed into Egypt.
And I'm very glad to hear, officials using the word genocide, because literally, again, what is happening is genocide. And only South Africans can understand the pain that we are going through.
As Israel carries out targeted raids across Gaza, the death toll continues to rise in a war that seems to have no quantifiable end. Hundreds of Palestinians have been killed since the war resumed after a 7-day ceasefire. A Palestinian woman who's been sharing stories depicting the lived reality of her family in Gaza has suffered yet another tragedy, the death of her stepfather. Gift of the Givers leader Imtiaz Suleiman says Aya Jaber's stepfather died after being shot in the stomach by an Israeli sniper as he stepped out of his home. Prior to that, she'd lost 50 family members in the war. 10 years after his death, Nelson Mandela's legacy still lives on in the Madiba shirt. The silky garment, often adorned in bright and colourful patterns, has recently made a comeback in the governing party. Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi, his predecessor David Makura, and Free State Premier Mxolisi Dukwana are all fans.
Madiba's legacy still lives in, and also other people want to embrace him because at the end of the day, clothes are symbols. They tell who you are, where you're coming from.
Talking of fashion icons, South Africa designer Laduma Nkokolo was in our 947 studios. He was celebrating taking his brand to New York. And that's it from us. Enjoy your weekend. See you for more next week. Remember to like and subscribe.
Eyewitness News. In touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.